Your body is listening to every word you think. Right now, in this very moment, your cells are responding to the quality of your thoughts, like flowers turning toward sunlight or closing against the cold. This is not metaphor. This is the intimate conversation happening beneath your skin, behind your heartbeat, in the quiet hum of your nervous system. You are not separate from your thoughts. You are the garden, and you are the gardener. And the most beautiful truth I can share with you is this: you can begin again, right now, with the next thought you choose to plant. For so long, many of us have lived as though our bodies were stubborn, separate things, machines that break down, betray us, refuse to cooperate. We have been taught to fight our physical selves, to override them, to demand they perform despite exhaustion, pain, or pleading. But the body is not a machine. The body is a garden, rich with life, responsive to care, capable of extraordinary renewal when we learn to tend it with loving thoughts. Every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your inner dialogue. When you think, "I am tired of being sick," the body hears "sick." When you think, "I hate my stomach," the body feels the contraction of that hate. But when you gently whisper, "I am learning to care for myself," the body softens. It listens. It begins to believe that safety is possible. The thoughts we think today were not all chosen by us. So many of them were planted long ago, handed down like heirlooms we never asked for. Perhaps you learned that your worth depended on productivity, that rest was laziness, that pain was something to ignore. Perhaps you inherited the belief that your body could not be trusted, that health was a matter of luck, that aging meant inevitable decline. These beliefs were seeds placed in your mind before you had the language to question them, and they took root. They grew quietly in the dark soil of your subconscious, sending up shoots that became your automatic thoughts, your daily inner weather. But here is the liberating truth. You are no longer the child who received those seeds. You are the gardener now. And a gardener does not hate the garden for what was planted before they arrived. A gardener simply begins the work of choosing what to nurture and what to release. Look gently at the garden of your mind right now. What grows there? When you think about your body, what words arise? When you consider your health, your energy, your physical self, what is the tone of your inner voice? Is it critical, harsh, impatient? Does it compare your garden to others and find it lacking? This noticing is not about judgment. This is about becoming aware with great tenderness of what you have been watering, because every repeated thought is water. Every habitual belief is sunlight or shadow, and the landscape of your physical experience is the direct result of what you have been feeding with your attention. If you have been feeding fear, the body grows tense. If you have been feeding criticism, the body grows weary. But if you begin, even in small ways, to feed appreciation, oh, the body responds with such relief. The quality of the soil matters more than the seed. You can plant the most beautiful intention, the most hopeful affirmation, but if the soil of your self-regard is depleted, nothing will take hold. This is why affirmations sometimes feel hollow, why positive thinking can seem like a lie when we first attempt it. We are trying to grow roses in soil we have been poisoning with self-hatred. The first work, the foundational work, is enriching the soil, and the soil is enriched by one thing: love. Not grand gestures, not perfection, simply the quiet, daily choice to speak to yourself as you would to someone you are learning to cherish. When you notice tension in your shoulders, instead of thinking, "My body is so messed up," you might whisper, "My shoulders are working so hard. Thank you. Let me help you release." This is not pretending. This is changing the chemistry of your inner environment. Self-love is not a destination. It is the quality of attention you bring to this moment. It is the softening around your own difficulty. It is the willingness to stop abandoning yourself when things feel hard. Your body has been with you through everything. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment of joy. Your body was there, holding you, breathing for you, keeping you alive even when you forgot to thank it. And still, we are so quick to criticize, to compare, to demand it be different. Imagine speaking to a garden the way we speak to our bodies. Imagine standing over a bed of flowers and shouting, "Why aren't you blooming faster? Why do you look like that? You are not good enough." The flowers would wilt, and so do we. But when we tend a garden with patience, when we notice what is growing and celebrate even the smallest green shoot, the garden thrives. Your body is no different. There will be thoughts you wish to remove, old beliefs that no longer serve you, patterns of worry, criticism, and fear that have deep roots. And here is where so many of us go wrong. We try to rip them out. We make war on our own minds. We scold ourselves for negative thinking, then feel shame when the negative thought returns. But a wise gardener knows that force does not work. When you yank at a weed with anger, you often leave the root, and it grows back stronger. When you hate yourself for hating yourself, you only create more suffering. Instead, try this. When a harsh thought arises, meet it with curiosity. Notice it the way you might notice a weed in your garden, without drama, without making it mean something terrible about you. You might simply think, "Ah, there is that old thought again. It is trying to protect me in its way, but I do not need it anymore." Then gently, consciously, turn your attention to a thought that feels better. This is not denial. This is discernment. You are not pretending the weed is not there. You are choosing not to water it. You are choosing instead to place your attention on what you wish to grow. Every time you catch a critical thought and choose a kinder one, you are retraining your mind. Every time you notice tension and breathe softness into it, you are teaching your body that it is safe to let go. This is the practice, not perfection, not the elimination of all difficult thoughts, simply the gentle, persistent returning to love. And over time, the weeds lose their hold, not because you fought them, but because you stopped feeding them. You gave your energy to something more true. Your body is not a static thing. It is a living system that moves in cycles, and it is asking you to honor those cycles instead of resisting them. There are seasons in the body, just as there are seasons in the garden. There are times of outward growth, of energy and expansion, when everything feels possible and your vitality is high. And there are times of inward rest, of quiet repair, when the body asks you to slow down, to consolidate, to let the roots deepen before the next bloom. We live in a culture that celebrates only the growing season. We are told to be productive, energetic, and visible at all times. But no garden can be in constant bloom. If we tried to force it, we would exhaust the soil. We would deplete the very life force we are trying to sustain. When you feel tired, your body is not failing you. It is entering a season of restoration. When you feel the need to withdraw, to rest, to move more slowly, this is not weakness, it is wisdom. The body knows what it needs. It speaks in sensations, in energy levels, in cravings for stillness or movement. And when we override those signals, when we push through with willpower and caffeine and shame, we are essentially telling the garden, I do not care what you need, bloom anyway. And the garden, exhausted, begins to wither. But when we learn to listen, when we ask, what season am I in? What does my body need right now? We become partners with our own life force. We stop fighting ourselves and start flowing with the natural intelligence that has kept us alive since before we could think. Some days you will wake with energy, and those are the days to plant new seeds, to take action, to reach outward. Other days you will wake feeling tender, raw, in need of protection, and those are the days to water what has already been planted, to rest in the quiet knowledge that growth is happening even when you cannot see it. Both are necessary, both are sacred. And when you stop judging your body for its seasons, when you stop demanding spring in the middle of winter, the body begins to trust you again. It relaxes, it opens, it reveals its deep capacity for healing. New thoughts are fragile when they are first planted. If you have spent years believing, I am not enough, and you begin to experiment with the thought, I am worthy of love, it will not feel true at first. It will feel awkward, false, even silly. This is normal. This is the tender shoot stage. The new belief has not yet rooted. It is vulnerable to the harsh wind of old programming. And this is where patience becomes your greatest tool. You would not plant a seedling in your garden and then stand over it, arms crossed, demanding, why are you not a tree yet? You would water it daily. You would protect it from harsh conditions. You would celebrate the first tiny leaves. You tend to your new thoughts in the same way. Every morning you have the opportunity to water the thoughts you wish to grow. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means consciously choosing where you place your attention. When you wake, instead of immediately scanning for what hurts or what is wrong, you might place a hand on your heart and think, I am here, I am breathing, this body is doing its best. That is watering. When you look in the mirror, instead of cataloging flaws, you might meet your own eyes and whisper, I see you. I am learning to be kind to you. That is watering. These small acts of attention are not insignificant. They are everything. Because the mind learns through repetition, the body learns through consistency. And when you offer yourself this gentle tending every single day, the new thought begins to root. There will be days when the old belief comes roaring back, louder than ever. You will think the new thought is not working, that you are fooling yourself, that nothing is changing. Do not let this discourage you. This is the garden testing you. The old root system is trying to reclaim its territory. But you do not have to fight it. You simply notice, breathe, and return to the new thought, again and again and again, not with force, with devotion, with the understanding that you are rewiring a lifetime of conditioning, and that takes time. But every single repetition matters. Every moment you choose the loving thought over the critical one, you are shifting the soil. And one day, not far from now, you will notice that the new thought feels natural. It will arise on its own. It will have rooted. And that is when you will know the garden is truly changing. You do not have to throw away your past to create a new future. every difficult experience, every mistake, every moment you wish you could erase. These are not obstacles to your growth. They are compost. In a garden, compost is the richest, most nourishing material you can add to the soil. It is made from what has decayed, what has broken down, what no longer serves in its original form. But when you allow it to transform, it becomes the very substance that feeds new life. Your pain can do the same, not by pretending it did not happen, not by bypassing your feelings or slapping a positive spin on suffering, but by allowing yourself to be with it, to feel it fully, and then to ask, what can I learn here? How has this made me more compassionate, more resilient, more awake? When you have been hurt, your instinct may be to bury the pain, to push it down, to build walls so it never touches you again. But buried pain does not disappear. It festers. It hardens the soil. It makes it difficult for anything new to grow. Compo. Sting, by contrast, is an act of alchemy. You take what hurts and you let it break down in the presence of your own loving awareness. You write about it. You speak it aloud to someone safe. You let yourself cry, rage, grieve, not forever, but fully, until the charge begins to soften. And then, in time, you notice that the experience has given you something. Perhaps it taught you what you will no longer tolerate. Perhaps it opened your heart to others who suffer in similar ways. Perhaps it revealed a strength you did not know you had. This is compost becoming soil. This is how we transform suffering into wisdom. You do not have to be grateful for the pain itself, but you can be grateful for who you are becoming because you chose not to let the pain define you. You can honor what you have survived without making it your identity. And when you do this, when you integrate your experiences with compassion rather than shame, you enrich the soil of your being. You create the conditions for deeper, more resilient growth. The body feels this. The body knows when you have stopped fighting your own history. It exhales. It lets go of the bracing, and in that softening, healing becomes possible. Awareness is the water your garden needs most. Not fancy techniques, not perfect conditions, just presence. The simple act of noticing. Most of us live in our heads, lost in the endless stream of thought, barely aware of our bodies until they scream for attention through pain or illness. But your body is always speaking. It is always offering information, guidance, feedback. The question is, are you listening? Right now, pause. Notice your breath. Is it shallow or deep? Notice your shoulders. Are they up near your ears, braced against some invisible threat? Notice your jaw. Is it clenched? These sensations are messages. Your body is telling you how your thoughts are landing. When you think a stressful thought, the body tightens. When you think a loving thought, the body softens. This is not mystical. This is physiology. When you begin to check in with your body throughout the day, you create a feedback loop. You start to notice which thoughts create tension and which create ease. You start to feel, in real time, the impact of your inner dialogue, and this awareness gives you choice. When you notice your chest tightening, you can pause and ask, what was I just thinking? Often you will catch a worry, a criticism, a fearful projection, and then you can breathe, soften, and choose again. You might place a hand on your chest and think, it is okay, I am safe right now. You might take 3 deep breaths, lengthening the exhale to signal to your nervous system that there is no emergency. These small acts of presence are the daily watering. They are the way you let your body know it is seen, heard, and cared for. You do not need to meditate for hours or master mindfulness. You simply need to pause, to notice, to breathe, to touch your own arm with kindness, to whisper thank you to the heart that beats without your effort, to the lungs that breathe while you sleep, to the feet that carry you through your days. This is watering with presence, and the more you do it, the more responsive your garden becomes. You start to feel the shifts, the softening, the opening, the gradual return of vitality, not because you fixed yourself, but because you stopped abandoning yourself. You stayed, you paid attention, you loved what was here. The harvest is not something far away. It is here in the small shifts you begin to notice when you tend your thoughts with care. One day, you realize you slept through the night. Another day, you notice that your chronic shoulder pain has eased. You catch yourself smiling for no reason. You feel a lightness in your chest that has been absent for years. These are not coincidences. These are the fruits of your daily practice. Every kind thought you planted, every moment you chose presence over panic, every breath you took with conscious softness, they are all adding up. The body is responding. The garden is blooming. You may also notice changes in how you relate to others. When you stop criticizing your own body, you stop criticizing others. When you speak to yourself with compassion, you find compassion rising more easily for those around you. When you honor your own seasons, you stop demanding that others be in constant bloom. This is the ripple effect of inner gardening. As you change the landscape within, the world around you begins to reflect that change. Not because the world has changed, but because you are perceiving it through new eyes. You are meeting life from a place of enoughness rather than lack. And from that place, everything softens. The harvest is also trust. Trust that your body knows how to heal when you give it the conditions it needs. Trust that rest is productive. Trust that slowing down is not the same as giving up. Trust that you do not have to control every outcome, that life is working with you, not against you. This trust is not naive. It is earned through experience. Every time you listen to your body and it responds, you build trust. Every time you choose a loving thought and feel the ease that follows, you build trust. And over time, this trust becomes the ground you stand on. It becomes unshakable, not because life stops being difficult, but because you know deeply that you can tend to yourself through anything. Celebrate the small harvests, the good night of sleep, the moment you caught yourself in a critical thought and chose kindness instead, the day you said no to something that would have depleted you, the morning you woke without dread. These are the blooms. These are the signs that your garden is responding to your care. Do not wait for some grand transformation to acknowledge your progress. Every tiny shift is evidence that you are changing, that the work is working, that the garden is alive and listening. Let yourself feel proud. Let yourself savor the sweetness of these moments. They are the whole point. The work of the gardener is never finished, and that is not a burden. It is a gift. You will never arrive at a place where you no longer need to tend your thoughts, where the garden maintains itself without your loving attention. There is no graduation from being human, but this is not exhausting when you understand it correctly. This is the rhythm of a life well lived. Every morning is an invitation to begin again. Every moment is a chance to plant something beautiful. Even when you forget, even when you slip back into old patterns, the garden is patient. It does not punish you for neglect. It simply waits for you to return. And the moment you do, it responds. This is the eternal spring of the gardener's life. You are not trying to reach some final state of perfection where no weeds ever grow, where every thought is pure and positive, where the body never aches or tires. That is not the goal. The goal is to become someone who knows how to tend, who meets each season with grace, who does not abandon the garden when things get difficult. You are learning to be the steady, loving presence your own life needs. And that presence is not contingent on circumstances. It is not something you earn or lose. It is who you are, beneath all the conditioning, beneath all the fear. You are the gardener you always have been. So today, right now, choose one small thought to plant. Not a grand declaration, not a sweeping change, just one small, tender seed. Perhaps it is, my body is wise. Perhaps it is, I am doing the best I can. Perhaps it is, I am allowed to rest. Whatever it is, plant it gently in the soil of this moment. Whisper it to yourself, feel it settle, and then tomorrow, water it again, and the next day, and the day after that. Do not worry about whether it feels true yet. Do not demand proof. Simply tend it. Trust that beneath the surface, roots are forming. Trust that your body is listening. Trust that the garden of your life is far more responsive, far more resilient, far more capable of beauty than you have been taught to believe. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are a garden in process, and every single moment you choose a loving thought, you are participating in your own renewal. The mind is the gardener, the body is the garden, and you, in your infinite worthiness, are both. Tend yourself well, speak kindly to the soil of your being, water what you wish to grow, and watch with wonder as your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined possible. This is your work. This is your power. This is the gift you give yourself again and again for as long as you live. The garden is yours, and it is waiting with endless patience for your loving hands